Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about one thing that a lot of people are currently doing, myself included, and that unfortunately is resulting in these people losing millions of gold. So I'm sure that you are aware that with every new expansion, there is one profession that is really great, and this is inscription. Inscription will allow you to craft some of the Darkmoon cards that can then be combined in order to craft some of the Darkmoon decks. These Darkmoon decks are some of the best trinkets that you can get at the beginning of any new expansions, and you can sell them on the auction house. So with Dragonflight, in order to get all the different cards that you need to combine to then have the different decks, you need to craft some bundles or cards. You can also get some of these by, for instance, fishing or killing creatures, but these are very rare. In order to craft one of these bundles, you need 3 Awakened Order, 3 Awakened Air, 3 Earth, 3 Fire, and 3 Frost, and then you will each time get 2 random cards. So the issue right now is that in order to get some of the rarest cards, and the rarest ones are all the different aces, you will need to craft a lot of these bundles. And for instance, I recently published a video. I opened like 250 of these cards and I only got 5 aces. And sometimes I opened like 100 and I didn't get one single ace. And the issue is that the materials are currently very, very, very expensive. So I made personally the mistake at the beginning to get the specializations, try to unlock as many ranks as I could, and then start crafting all these different decks. The issue is that right now, really, the materials are too expensive compared to the price of the most valuable cards. So, as you can imagine, all these overcards are not really worth anything at the moment, and you will be able to sell a few, but there is a lot of people selling them, and unfortunately, all these different cards are pretty worthless. The only ones that are interesting are all the different aces. As you can see, I sold a lot of these and for quite a lot of gold. But the issue is that it doesn't even cover half of the cost of all the different materials that I had to use in order to craft all the different cards. So right now, unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to craft all these different Darkmoon cards, and they are then panicking because they realize that they will never be able to actually reimburse the different costs of the materials. And so they try to get rid of all these different aces. And so right now, some of these cards are very, very cheap. So really, you won't be able, even if you have the best specializations and you have like the most points and you've been able to really get all these different ranks unlocked, you won't be able to reimburse the costs even if you sell some of these aces for 500k gold, because on average, you won't even get 1 or 2 when you open 100 of these different bundles, and you need to spend at least 1.5 million, like 2 millions in order to craft these different bundles. So what I would highly recommend you to do is just wait for now, because most likely at some point, all the different materials, especially the awakened materials, will become a little bit cheaper. And after that, you will be able to craft all these different Darkmoon decks for a cheaper price. But at the moment, really, it's not a good idea, simply because you will lose a lot of gold. So when it comes to flipping all these different items, I would say that right now it's very risky because a lot of people are still crafting all these different items. And as you can see, there is a lot of people who are selling them for very, very cheap prices. And also the value is only going to decrease because, as I mentioned, the value of the materials will most likely decrease at some point. And so you might end up having some aces that will be even cheaper in 1 week from now. So I would only recommend you to maybe try to flip some of these aces if they really go maybe lower than 200k gold at the moment, something like that. But otherwise, I think it's going to be a little bit too risky. And so I would not recommend you to invest too much gold into these different aces. One thing you can do if on your realm there is not a lot of people selling the decks, so the trinkets, is simply buying some of these aces, and then with the rest of the cards that are very, very, very cheap at the moment, you will be able to craft these different decks and sell them. For instance, right now, as you can see, the Ace of Earth is worth 350k gold, and then all the rest of the cards are maybe worth like 2 or 3k gold. But I was still able to sell one of these trinkets for 500k gold, which is like 150k gold profit. So you might want to do that, but again, first check your auction house, because if there is a lot of competition, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to get a good sell. And also always check the prices of the aces and everything, because you might again lose some gold by trying to do that. So that's one way to maybe make some gold at the moment with the Darkmoon cards. But again, it's risking to invest a little bit of gold and then not being able to sell the deck, and then the prices will fall down and then you will just lose some gold. Really up to you to see, and this is the only recommendation I could have right now. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great week. Bye!